Hello, welcome to Astro Podcasts. I am Jody, and welcome to my weekly astrology report for this week, November 10th to November 17th, Friday to Friday. Welcome. Let's get this week started. Astro Podcast is filmed on Studio Cloud9. Astro Podcast is produced by Power Boots, LLC. So, since we last spoke last Friday, Mercury is moving into Sagittarius today and will be there until December 1st. And Venus on November 8th moved into Libra, her home sign, where she's very happy here. And Mars is still in Scorpio until November 24th. Those are our personal planets. And the moon today is in Libra. And the moon in Libra with Venus is a very nice, happy, peaceful feeling, thoughts, communication. We all want to be lovey and happy because that's where she rules. She wants balance here. Mercury moving in Sagittarius today brings on a freedom of needing to dig deep into every mystery that we come upon. We will be exploring mentally and wanting to learn. Mercury in Sagittarius is very chatty, very optimistic, wants to talk about philosophy, think about the world and what's going on in the world. Could be full of chatter with Mercury in a fire sign. We can be quite chatty. So the outer planets, what's going on with that? Let's see. Jupiter is in Taurus until May 25th of 2024, and then it will move on to Gemini. Jupiter stays in the sign for about 10 to 12 months. Saturn is in Pisces since March 7th of 2023, so we just felt Saturn move in here this year, and Saturn just woke up last week and will be here until May 24th, 2025. And Saturn is a super powerful planet that rules over our outer world, such as institutions and learning, higher learning, and our responsibilities and how we handle our responsibilities. And also institutions like the post office, like the government. Uranus is in Taurus until April 25th, 2026. And Uranus is having a meeting with Mars tomorrow. I spoke a little bit about this last week, and Mars is going to have a lot of activity for the rest of the month, causing a lot of energetic responses to situations, whether in or outside of ourselves. And Mercury here is being ruled by Jupiter, who rules over Sagittarius. And Jupiter wants us to expand our minds, be optimistic, think about ways that, because Sagittarius is a mutable fire sign. So Sagittarius and Jupiter wants you to explore, to open your mind to new ideas, to really understand that we're all connected, because Jupiter is the first of the outer planets that affects us collectively. When you're born, that whole year that Jupiter's in that sign, everyone of that year shares Jupiter in whatever that sign is. So our second kind of outer planet is Saturn, and Saturn rules Capricorn, and Saturn just woke up in Neptune. And while Saturn's in Neptune, it's been able to dream a little bit of new ways to rearrange certain values or thoughts or actions, which would be Mars, our actions, Venus, our values, Mercury, how we think and communicate, and the moon, how we feel inside, and the sun, how does our ego handle changes and what it is we need. Saturn had aspects last week to some planets, helping us to come out of the fog a little bit, because Neptune is the fog machine. And then you walk out or run out to the stadium, right? The fog machine. right? So Neptune has that reputation, and it's true. Wherever your 12th house is, that's where Neptune rules. That goes back to your past lives, your intuition, your gut, your inner wisdom that only can come from a life of having many memories in your subconscious that you can reach for and somehow affects you and you don't know why certain things affect you, certain smells, certain colors, and it's because it comes from back here in the 12th house that Pisces rules over, or Neptune. Let's say Neptune. Neptune's also in Pisces right now. And then Uranus is the beginning of the outer collective planets that rules over us. So Uranus, being in Taurus, is shaping the collective's values because it's ruled by Venus here. So the collective monetary situations we have going on, the market, the stock market, also rules over higher communication, higher thoughts that are floating up here in the ether that our minds are capable of downloading and getting answers. Uranus is having an opposition to Mars tomorrow on Saturday, November 11th. And that opposition is a invitation for the collective on Earth to change the way they react and act and where they put their energy into, because where our energy and our intention goes, that's what gets highlighted. All right, highlighted. If we can listen, let's stop hurting children. No matter what your end game may be, children should not be involved as collateral damage, because now you're setting another generation into this fight, this war has been raging since anyone can remember. And what good does that do to continue that war? It's going to be a shocking jolt to a lot of people, especially the fixed signs of Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus, where Uranus is. Uranus is in a fixed sign, earth sign, where growth occurs. Uranus is in there really shaking things up for personally the Taurus people or whoever has Taurus aspects. And then collectively opposing Mars, saying, hey, I got this process going on right now in Taurus. I'm starting to change values. Bitcoin, digital currency, digital wallet, that's all me. So I'm changing that right now. It's going to be until April 2026. Neptune is in Pisces until March 30th of 2025. Pluto is now awake in Capricorn, at the very last degrees of Capricorn. It's going to take Pluto the whole year, 2.5 months about, to fully move 2 degrees and go into Aquarius. And it's going to be there, I believe, until March. Then it's going to go back into Capricorn again until, I believe, September. Then go back into Aquarius for good for 20 years until 2044. It doesn't matter really what sign you are right now, or your moon, or anything is. We're all being tremendously affected. Again, it harkens back to 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, back. The big news of the week is that maybe it is the big news for 20 years. It's huge. Is that the new moon, when it moves into Scorpio November 13th, it will meet up with the sun and Mars all together clustered. And next to that is another planet that the astrologists are talking about, is a dwarf planet. And it's between Mars and Jupiter, I believe. And it's called Ceres, Ceres, which is the goddess of the harvest of the fall season. She is the mother, the mothering part of the moon that is protective of her children, wants food for her children, doesn't like it when children are starving or being harmed in any way, because that's what food and the harvest is about. She's also the mother of Persephone, who was stolen by Hades, taken down into the underworld. That's why fall is a dark time, is because Ceres is sad and missing her daughter, who was taken away from her. And in order to see her daughter again, Persephone was allowed to come back up in the spring, and that's why the spring we see the flowers and everything blooming, because Ceres is happy again. And she gets to see her daughter until the fall, then her daughter goes back into the underworld. And her daughter was taken from her, and she's the mother of the harvest. So imagine the pain that Ceres felt and how it hangs on in her heart. So she's the mothering moon, and she's here with us during this humongous time in our lives to nurture us and to let us know that with everything comes sacrifice in some way. Ceres is here to remind us of the importance of food and love and nurturing. Ceres is here helping the moon in Scorpio to really help the collective emotionally to dig deep into our darkness. And it opposes all these things, all four of these things I spoke about. The sun in Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio, the moon in Scorpio, and Ceres in Scorpio. These four are opposite of Uranus, who has more power because it is an outer planet. And when outer planets interact with the inner planets, they're sending a message, and their message is stronger. And right now, Mars is so close to the sun, they call it a cazimi. 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 Meaning that Mars is so close. When a planet becomes close to the sun, and it moves by, and it comes by, and it's in the heart of the sun, is what the cazimi means in Arabic. The heart of the sun. So the sun's here, and Mars is here, and Mars comes by and is in the heart, so close to the sun that the sun's heat burns Mars's energy and purifies it, like the phoenix rising. When Mars comes out on this side, it will be a different Mars, different action, especially after its interaction with Uranus. The actions of the collective will change, will shift, will be challenged to shift, will be challenged to change by Uranus over in the fixed sign of Taurus. Are you ready to change? Can you change? Can you let go? Can you forgive? Can you stop? All this is occurring at the same time with Venus moving into Libra, where the last eclipse was, the last thing we just dealt with, right? So what's going to happen here now? What does it mean? What's the future hold? Well, Mars is going to be very active, very, very active. Mars having these oppositions in a water sign, it's home. It's pretty powerful. And all these four are having a meeting with Pluto, who's awake at the very last degrees of Capricorn. The very last degrees are about change. And you can see right now in America with the fight for abortion rights being top of the ballot now. Now we know really what's going to stir this election. And I thought about this, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, why is this such a big deal again when it was already passed? Just like automatic rifles used to be banned, but then they came back. Abortions used to be banned, and now they're banned again. So why is this happening? I'm saying to myself, and now with Mercury going in Sagittarius, I really just had some downloads this morning, and I'm thinking that that person who seems the most calm is usually inside seething, and they're the one who's the most angry. And the person that expresses themselves and shows their emotion is always the one considered local, can't control your emotions, right? And now, as we head into a more spiritual phase of the earth and its inhabitants, we're learning that emotion is the superpower. What makes the world go around? Your empathy for others, and that deals with emotion. Empathy is emotion, and we, again, like I said last week, we're not done with Scorpio. Scorpio is here until November 22nd. The sun will move out, but until then, the sun is deep diving into our egos with the moon here, the new moon, where we can make a new wish, a new dream come true, something that's personal and something that can help the collective. Can we wish for war to disappear? Yes. Can we wish for love for all? Yes. Can we wish for people to behave the way we want? No. Can we control what other people do? No. So the secret to healing the earth and yourself and everybody is to know that inside you must want that peace for yourself, for your family, for the world, which is our collective family, the world. These are just things that we just have to adapt to. I mean, I am so ready for the medical profession, to invent that thing I saw in Star Trek growing up. When you would get sick on Star Trek, doctor would come by with a little thing, go zzz, and you're healed, or and you still have to recover, you still have to do all those things, but there's no surgery, there's nothing like that, just and because as we get to understand atoms better, instead of using atoms as a weapon to make a nuclear bomb, as we understand atoms in ourselves better in our DNA, it seems like we can eventually just move our molecules and our atoms. These are the progress that we're hoping and wishing for, especially as astrologers. We want that leap into our brain where we can heal ourselves in a better way. With this new moon in Cancer being opposed by Uranus, our emotional landscape is asking to be changed, is being programmed to be changed. Our egos, because the sun's in Scorpio, our identity, our sovereignty of who we are is being challenged to change. Mars, our actions, our intentions, our where we put our energy is being asked to change. I do believe that as time goes on, there will be a 4-day work week because it just makes sense. 4 days for work, 3 days for family. That seems fine, right? I think that there'll be less competition in the world, except for in sports where it belongs. I'm optimistic, and with this new moon in Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio being here at 21 degrees, it exactly lines up with my Mars in Scorpio. That's why I do what I do, because it wakes me up in the middle of the night, I share with my family, but I know that other people would like to listen. So thank you so much for my new subscribers on YouTube. I'm so grateful that you want to come listen to me. Thank you. The collective actually understands that when it comes down to being a human, you don't need anyone really to make decisions for you about who you are and what you want. I understand that some people do need help. Maybe they have a guardian that helps them. I understand all that. But I asked myself this question this morning, and it has to be with Mercury moving in Sagittarius. I really want to pray again today for everyone that's getting harmed, injured, hurt in any way through carelessness of people, other people. I really want to pray for you, and I hope that it ends. And to all that have passed away this week, God bless us. I hope you find your peace. So, this week is just so intense that it's so difficult to explain how intense it is. And reading the charts, there's so many, and all those lines that are opposite each other, especially the red ones. Woo! Zip, 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 zip. What are you gonna do? Well, your brain, you want to learn today. Some people might have a hard time sleeping right now. Some people might have a hard time just talking to other people because their minds are going so at a quick speed. That's where I have to be careful. Cut down my coffee a little bit this past week because of it. So that's about all I got right now. Next week we'll still be feeling this all the way until the 18th, I believe. Next Saturday, and I will be back on the 17th to tell you what's going on. Again, say that the outer planets are waking up. They are the most powerful planets. And if you are ruled by any outer planets, you know what this is about. It's going to really flip things around, change power dynamics. Get ready, put on your seatbelt. This is a roller coaster ride. It's only going to get more chaotic, more war, more unexpected events. And one thing I want to kind of say is that Scorpio is a water sign. We talked about that last week. Is a fixed water sign. It is the most powerful energy, power-wise, of all the signs is Scorpio, because it has Mars, action, and Pluto, higher octave of that, both in one sign. If you know any Scorpios, they're very intense, or they're not. They're here to show you your energy and help you understand that what you value matters. Where your actions and your intentions go matter. Can any generation become peaceful if constantly there's a war? And I know everything can't be rosy, shiny, and beautiful all the time, but it can get close. Thank you for joining me today on November 10th. And don't forget that the new moon is November 13th. Set a nice intention, plant your seed, watch it grow, and it will grow quickly according to the astrologers because Mars is moving quickly, quickly, quickly. Manifest. God bless you. I love and appreciate every one of you, and I'm very grateful for my new subscribers. Thank you so, 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 so much. Peace.